Hey everybody, I'm Steph.
I'm Michael
Today we're checking out Canopy Evergreen.
from Weird City Games.
Yes.
It's currently on Kickstarter right now. If you're watching this anytime around the September 20th time frame of 2023, then yes, you can get it on Kickstarter now. Do you have that link?
Yep, right
Steph?
here. Boom.
Boom. Look at that. Steph is ready with the link. This plays 1 to 4 players and plays according to them. There's no box time yet because this is not the real box. This is a prototype. Plays in 45 to 60 minutes. Now, Weird City Games gave us this fantastic prototype that we're going to have to send on to somebody else, but I anticipate they will give us a real copy whenever it comes out. But they didn't give it to us in exchange for this video.
Right.
They gave it to us because they know we like to play all the games. You almost missed it.
I almost missed it. But I do like to play all the games. So.
Yes, that is the truth. So, I will discuss a little bit about the 3 and 4 player experience as we go through, but we have this set up for a 2-player game. Let's take a look.
Let's take a look. I've got too many things.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing. So,
all over the place.
This, I have to say, these are prototype pieces. Now, was it Tim that said that these will be smaller?
Yes, just slightly smaller.
So, Tim said that these pieces will be slightly smaller. I like the large size of these animal tokens. I just got to say, I think that they are the right size. If you see any sort of imperfections on the edges, these were freshly cut for us. There are also these tree pieces. If you remember from Canopy, there are a lot of tree cards that you will put on top of one another, and then a canopy on top. In order to make your tree in Canopy, you are trying to stack. Where are the middle pieces? That you will stack trunks on top of roots and canopies on top of either the roots or the trunk, and you will create a cool little tree, as you see right here. Ta-da! Check this out. And you can make it as tall as you want. So,
but once you put the top on, you can't like add more later.
Right. Just like the original Canopy. So, you will notice that a lot of these mechanics and scoring things are going to be very similar to Canopy. However, Canopy, although it plays more players, it was primarily designed as a 2-player game. This was specifically designed as a 2 to 4 player game. Though I do believe that there are there solo rules on this? I don't remember. I'll have to look at that letter that you were sent. Yeah, it says 2 to, I think I said 1 to 4 players earlier. I think it might be 2 to 4. Anyway.
Check the Kickstarter. It will tell you.
Check the Kickstarter. It will say everything that you need to know. So whenever you are setting up your boards, you will randomize all of these tokens and place them face up onto each of the spots that have little circles on them. You'll also notice that the spots between the circles and on the paths have little tree spots. And again, all of the art on these is subject to change, so it may look slightly different. You are going to take one of the roots sets here, and you're going to place it on the upper left position on your board. You're going to start off with 1 food. You're going to start off with 5 points. This smaller disc is used for the 10s, and you're going to place it down in the corner. And I don't remember, I think he had mentioned something about this being a different color, but
I'm sure things are going to change. I don't really know. Depending on how much money they raise, they might get unlock cool things. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. So you've also got this 100 scoring marker for whenever you go over 100 points, and we did have players go over 100 points in our game. Every player will also start off with one of the starting cards. They are the ones that have the little, is it the ones with the little marks in? No, where is the starting off symbol?
So it's a star.
Oh, the star. Thank you. I was like, where is that thing? So there are 4 animals. 4 animals?
4 to start, yeah.
With the star. Of course, this may change with the Kickstarter. And those you're going to randomize and give to the other players. and then the rest of the cards, you're going to set this deck according to player count. Deal 3 of them out here.
No, shuffle all those. There's no players for that deck. There's players
for this deck. Thank you. So, no player count for that deck. So, you are going to take a number of cards equal to, what is it, 3 times the number of players?
Yep.
So 6 cards in here.
For 2 players.
Now, the rules are a little confusing as they are right now, but this is called the seed deck. These you're not going to touch until the end of the round or the end of the season.
Yep.
All of the other cards you're going to put here after removing the cards that are not part of your player count. And you'll see down in the corner of these cards, you'll see a little number down here in the corner. It will have a 3 or a 4. I actually recommended to them that they change this to 3+ and 4+ instead of 4, because you'll notice with the 3 down here in the corner, I said that might be confusing. On a 4-player game, you might take out the 3-player cards, but that's not the case. It should be 3+ and 4+ instead of 3 and 4. So depending on what they do between now and publication time, just be advised that if that does not get changed, you might want to know that you should add cards in with 3 players, and then with 4 players, you're just going to use all the cards.
Yep.
All the cards. So in a 3 or 4-player game, you are going to take one of these seed cards and place between every pair of people. Plus, you're going to have one seed card in the center of the table. Okay, so let's pretend a little bit. I'm going to place this here and this between me and Steph, and this in the middle of the table, and there will be one between Steph and this person. So, with the 3 and 4-player game, when I am drafting cards from these seed piles, I have to do it in a certain order. I believe it starts off with 1, 1, and 1 card, except the spot between the first player and the last player, I believe, gets 1 additional card. That might also be for a 4-player game. Just make sure to follow those rules in the setup and do whatever it says. So let's pretend here that there's 1, 1, and 1 card down here. So what I'm going to do on my turn is I'm going to look at this card. And if I want it, I will take it. And then I will refresh this stack. If I don't want it, I'll put this card down and I will add an additional card to it. Then I must look at the card in the center. This was ultimately available to everyone. So I will look at this. And if I want it, I keep it. If not, I add a card. Then I'm going to look at my right-hand stack. I'm going to look at this, following the same procedure. If I don't want it, I add a card to it, and I have to take a card blind from the top of the deck. If I do want this, I just refresh as normal. Then it's going to be this player's turn. They get to look at the left pile, the center pile, and the right pile, adding cards as necessary. Steph will get to look at the left and the center and the right, as you do. And we are basically trying to get the best sets for ourselves as possible. Now, for a 2-player game, it's going to be slightly different. In a 2-player game, you're going to set it up with stacks 1, 2, and 3. You're going to have 3 cards on the last stack, 2 cards on the second, 1 on the first, and then your deck down here. So basically, both myself and Steph will be going from the first to the second to the third, and then a free draw, blind draw off the top if we don't want this third stack. Now, you might say, well, why would you not want some of these cards that are here? Well, some of them will give you negative points if you have a single copy of certain cards, like this. You're going to lose 2 points if you have only 1. But if you've got 2 Trillium, it's going to be worth 4. If you've got 3 or more Trillium, it's going to be worth 8. There are also some disaster cards that you're going to have to watch out for. For example, if I can find the other copy. So we've got a wildfire card, which is going to make it's fine if you've only got one wildfire card, but if you've got two, you're going to lose two plants at the end of the season. If you have three or more, you're not going to lose two. Everyone at the table is going to lose one, including yourself. But hey, it's better to spread the wildfire around than for you to take all of it. Am I right?
Right.
And the same thing with disease. But this is only for your wildlife, your animals. If you've got one, it's no problem. But if you have two, you're going to lose two critters. If you have three, everyone at the table is going to lose one critter.
Just to be clear, that the disease is only in a 4-player game.
Oh, how about that? I see it has a 4 in the corner.
Well,
so we won't see disease. That's good to know.
To tell you all the card distribution for the players. So
where's that? That is right here. Hey, look at this. You should get something similar to.
Yeah, this is also work in progress.
Also, yes.
I anticipate it'll be kind of close to this. So that's nice to have handy.
Absolutely. And there's also really good player aids that are included or should be included with Canopy Evergreen. So, as I mentioned before, we're going to look at these stacks one at a time as you go. And eventually, these cards are going to run out. And when that happens, we are going to continue playing until all of the cards are gone from. Now, this isn't a 3 or 4 player game. You're going to keep going and not adding any more cards until a player has no cards in their left, center, or right piles. And at that point, everyone has one more turn to purchase animals. I'll discuss that here in a little bit. But just keep in mind that that is when the end of the season is triggered. So let's talk a little bit about these animals. This concept is sort of familiar to those of you who have played Canopy. The first thing you're going to do in a turn is you're going to see if you want to purchase any of these animals. And I'm going to be honest, this is the thing that all of us forget to do as the first thing on a turn. Yeah. Am I right, Steph?
Yeah.
Usually it's because we don't have enough food to pay for the animals.
Yeah.
But a lot of times we're going to be looking through these cards and then we're going to be like, oh, I meant to buy that animal.
Yeah, animals don't show up.
Animals never show up here.
So it's different from Canopy because they're all mixed in with Canopy.
Yes. So if I wanted to purchase this gray wolf, then I would.
Use mine.
No, I don't know. It depends. Depends on whether I can get 2 food. So remember, your food track is over here with the little mushroom, little fungus thing right here. And you will just place it in your wildlife. Now, you will keep those wildlife every single season. The only things that you're going to get rid of each season are these cards here. These cards you're going to keep for the rest of the game. Now, if I were to get this black bear, not only am I going to get the 2 points, but I've now got multiple black bears. Now, it's important to notice that some black bears are worth points. Some black bears give abilities. Anything that gives an ability like this, it's called an active wildlife. And they have these little tokens that go with them. And after you have used them in whatever capacity that their card allows you to do, you're going to flip it over to the black and white side, meaning it is used for that season. So, now you want to get multiples of these because 2 black bears at the end of the game is going to give you a family of wildlife. And yeah, that's going to be 2 points for a pair of them. And then if you have 3 of them, you are going to score 5 points for a family of 3.
That's cute.
That's so cute. Now, you'll also notice that there are things down here at the bottom. This is what you're trying to get for wildlife chains. Notice the black bears, they have these same sort of wildlife terrain habitat types here. It looks like you've got grass and water here. So this is going to be part of a chain. What you're going to want to try to find is something that has water on one side and rock on the other side. Like, well, there's not one down here. Alternatively, you can get the other side of the chain. For example, the spotted skunk has grass and trees. And after you've gotten the skunk, you want to get something that has trees and wind or air, I believe it is. Basically, you're trying to create a habitat wildlife chain. And the longer your chain is, you're going to get points at the end of the game based on the number of wildlife in your longest wildlife chain.
So you can't score multiple chains.
Correct. So you are only going to get basically one chain. And if you can get 6 animals, if you can get each of these types, then you should be good to go. If you can get, I believe it is 6 in a chain, you are going to get 12 points. 1 wildlife is 0, 2 wildlife is 1. So if I had the black bear and the skunk, that is a chain of 2. That is going to be worth a whopping 1 point. But if I can also get the tree to wind, that'll be 3 wildlife in a chain. That's worth 3 points. 4 wildlife in a chain is worth 5. 5 wildlife in a chain is 8. 6 wildlife in a chain is worth 12. Now you'll notice that, remember, you saw the grass and the tree together. This is one circular chain. You're going to get grass always next to water, always next to rock, always next to whatever that is. Always next to wind, always next to tree. So keep in mind, you're not going to get something like tree and water, so you'll never have to worry about something like that. Put these back where I found them. Doop, doop, doop. Now, remember, if you use something with an active ability, remember it is good once per season. So you'll also get cards that are foraging wildlife. These will score every single season. In this case, you're going to get 2 points per pair of Trillium plants. Those are the ones that are here. Hey, the iconography in this game is fairly fantastic and intuitive, in my opinion. So, anyway, in a 2-player game, I'm not quite sure when the end of the game is triggered. I would assume it is when all 3 of these are empty, meaning we will be taking all of those cards. Steph, did you read any of that when you set this up for 2 players? Yeah, but I'm going to need this to describe everything. If you pass on all 3 piles. Sorry about this. Just checking out, see if the end of the season is any different, and I don't think it is. Yes, in a 2-player game, all the piles will eventually be taken. In a 3 to 4 player game, as I said, it's going to happen whenever one player has no piles available to them on their turn. So all the cards in the other growth cone piles will be discarded. So if Steph had any next to her, between her and this player over here, who shall remain unnamed, maybe Senor Azul, those are just going to be discarded. When a player has no piles on their turn, they have one final chance to get wildlife. Then this player, then Steph, will be given a chance to get wildlife in clockwise order. Then we're going to do end of season scoring, where we're going to follow these steps. First, we're going to have our seed cones. Hey, remember those seed cards that we had over here that we weren't going to touch? These 6 cards, 9 cards, 12 cards, however many you have, you're going to use the seed cards to take cards from these extras. So you're going to get to draw 2 and choose 1, but the 1 card you choose has to be a non-threat. You can't try to fish for a threat with these seed cone cards. Then we're going to deal with the threats. Those are the wildlife cards and the disease cards. You're going to handle that second. Third, you're going to score for your foraging wildlife. Remember, that's these here that will score you points every single season. Then fourth, you will deal with your trees. The player with the tallest completed tree gains a tallest tree award and is going to gain points based on the season. In the first season, you're going to get 3 points. In the second season, 4 points. In the third season, 5 points. You're going to put the tallest tree award on that tree. And it can't win the tallest tree award in future seasons. In the case of a tie between players, all of them will get a tallest tree award. And then the points are divided by the number of tallest trees. So let's say that I won the tallest tree, and Steph has other trees that were completed in season 1. Those trees are indeed available to win tallest tree for season 2. They don't have to be grown that season. They just have to be a completed tree. Not a tree that doesn't have a canopy on it. It must have a canopy to be considered complete. Fifth, you're going to score for plants and weather cards, plus bonus tiles that you have in your forest. The player with the most sets of sun and rain cards will get 5 points. Notice this gives you 3 sun. Now, by itself, it's not going to be worth anything because you're going to need rain to go with your sun. Now, look, I've got 3 sun, and 4 rain. That means I've got 3 sets of sun plus rain. That 4th rain is just going to be extra. I'm going to get 3 points for that. And hey, if I've got the most sun and rain sets, I'm going to get an additional 5 points. Second most is going to get 2 points. And in the case of a tie, all tied players split those 7 points evenly, or as evenly as possible. And there will be no second place. If Steph and I tied for first, we would split for first and second, and Senor Azul would get nothing.
Good.
And then finally, we're going to do cleanup. We're going to discard all the cards except wildlife. Flip all your wildlife tokens back to the color side so you can use them again. And then we're going to do season 2, and then season 3, and then it's the end of the game. For your point animals, all the point animals are going to be worth 2 points each at the end of the game. For your wildlife sets, remember, a pair of black bears will be worth 2, 3 black bears will be worth 5. Same thing for cougars and skunks and wolves and everything else.
Yeah, it's just the ones that are marked with 2 points.
Yes, it has to actually have a little silver leaf. Anything with a silver leaf means points later. Anything with a bright green leaf means points usually at the end of the season. For example, hey, I've got 2 salals. If I have 2 of them, look, they're going to be worth 2 points total. If I could have gotten 5 salal, hey, that's 13 points. That's really good. Notice that some of the cards have a little bonus food icon. Hey, when you draft those, you're going to get a bonus food.
That's good.
Yay for us, right? And food is good because food gets wildlife. So we've shown most of these things. There are going to also be cards like this that will immediately, anytime you see a lightning bolt, that means immediately you're going to get food for this. If I've got 1 huckleberry, I'm going to get 1 food immediately. The moment I play my second huckleberry, I'm going to get 1 food immediately. The moment I play my third huckleberry, I'm going to get 2 food immediately. And then the fourth huckleberry, and every time after that, 3 food immediately. Now, keep in mind, you don't want to discard this because if you do, you're going to lose 2 points.
It's also, it won't trigger when you collect a token with huckleberry.
Right. I have not gotten to tokens, but I will talk about those here in a second. Hey, look, it's a huckleberry token. If I had this and I got a huckleberry card, trying to find my huckleberry card again because I have lost it. Notice if I've got this huckleberry card, so let's say I already have a huckleberry card. When I get this token, I don't get anything for it because it's not a card. Now let's say I already had the huckleberry token and I got a huckleberry card. I'm already at 2. It's only 1 point, but let's say I got a second huckleberry card. I have 2 huckleberry cards and this bonus huckleberry, that's worth 3 huckleberries. That's 2 food. So this basically counts as an extra huckleberry. There are also cards that are for bonus trillium.
Tokens?
Yes, what did I say?
Cards.
Tokens, yes. A little cat of nine tails. Those are worth 5 points for every pair of those that you have. Look, it's a Salal token. There are also sun and rain tokens, and those will give you permanent sun and rain bonuses. For example, that is going to be worth 1 sun, but it's not going to give me any points unless I have a sun or rain card. Just like this Salal will not give me anything until I have a Salal card to pair it with. But as soon as I get either a sun or rain card, look, it's got the sun symbol on it. Now this will score. I have 1 set already. 1 sun and 2 rain is 1 set of sun plus rain. So tokens are super cool to get. Hey, how do you get tokens? This is how. Sometimes you will be given this card, which will give you either roots or a trunk. If you play it and you choose roots, then you will take a root and put it anywhere on your board. If you choose trunk, you will take one of the trunks and you will place it onto your roots, building a taller tree. Now, you can't place a canopy with this. The only time you get a canopy is when you draw a card like this. Now, let's say you don't want to finish your tree because you want to grow your tree taller. But let's say that you want to go ahead and cap off your tree. That's great. You're going to get 1 point for every trunk and canopy, not the roots. You never score for the roots. This could be 1 point. This could be 2 points. I don't know if I've ever seen a 3 point.
No, it's just 1 and 2.
1 and 2. So you don't have to take the canopy, but you might want to take the canopy because there are limited numbers of these. So let's say I have finished this tree here. If I finish a tree on any of these adjoining spaces, I might get these bonus tokens. So if this is 1 tall, I need to have something that is not 1 tall next to it. If this is 2 tall, I need to have something not 2 tall next to it. 3 high tall, 4 high tall, whatever it is, you need to have different heights in these two, in which case you will get the bonus token. If they are the same height, let's say Steph is just trying to crank out trees as quick as she can, and she's got a 1 height tree and a 1 height tree, and a 1 height tree and a 1 height tree all over her board. That's okay, you can do that. Take your bonus token, get rid of it, and score yourself 1 bonus point.
You can also flip it over.
Oh yeah, look, it's a point.
Yeah.
Because the other side of this is, ta-da, it's a point. So, different heights, get the token. Same heights, lose the token, but get a point. Mm-hmm. In addition to the number of points that you're normally going to get for your tree. And you will get that immediately upon getting completing that tree. And remember, this is only for complete trees. You're also going to get, as I had mentioned before, seed cone cards, which will give you bonus cards at the end of the season. You're also going to get heat wave cards that's going to make you discard a non-threat card. And hey, if you've got any wildfire cards already, you got to keep this as another fire card. I believe that's most of the cards. Did mention the cattail moss. Every 2 of them, you're going to get 5 points. So hey, if I had that and this token, boom, I've got 5 points already, right? I don't need to collect 2 of those cattail cards. I can just have the cattail card and the token.
Nice.
Anything else that I'm missing?
I
think that's it. So, it's a little more involved than Canopy, and I think that's why I might like this better than Canopy.
I don't know.
Just saying.
It feels very similar. So I think if you do like Canopy, then you'll probably like this one as well.
Absolutely.
Obviously, a beautiful game. So this was our review.
It's a Vincent Dutrait art.
Yeah. Then
for those of you familiar with his work, ta-da.
Very familiar, I'm sure.
Yes.
So yeah, this is the rules teach. Hopefully you like that. If you enjoyed this video, please check out the playthrough, which is going to be right now.
And Steph should post the link right underneath.
That's right.
Yep. And so if you enjoyed this Rules Teach, you can get a lot more Rules Teaches and playthroughs on your YouTube channel, right? Just search for Board Gamer Steph and YouTube, and you should find all of her content. Plus, you can join us on Twitch every Wednesday and Sunday night at 5 p.m. Central, where we will stream 3 or more games every single stream. So, hey, come join us on Twitch, where we play all the games.
That's right. And for those on Twitch, we'll be right back with the playthrough.
Hey.